That's what they used to play for him anyway.
I think that's a great theme song.
Come down the ramp.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the Beatles are offended by that.
Exactly. Does not solicit donations. He's ordered people who have formed PACs. He has his lawyers send out letters to disband the PACs. He doesn't want anything to do with them. And but still, people send him money. And he said the other day, and by the way, in the third quarter, I believe he raised like somewhere between $3 and $4 million without soliciting. This is just people sending him money. And he says usually it's in small amounts, and a lot of times it comes with a letter. And he said they talked about it, what they should do about it. And he said, really, he kind of wants to send the money back, but he thought that would seem kind of rude, and it's like, I don't need your money kind of thing. He didn't want to send that message. He said this was a nice gesture. It was, it's kind of like if someone gives you a gift, you don't want to refuse it. I mean, you don't want to deny them the pleasure of giving you the gift, right?
That's correct.
So he is taking that money, but he is not soliciting it, and he will use it on the campaign. But one of the things that, once again, his overhead is extremely low. So he can get a lot of mileage out of very little money. When you have your own jet, it makes it a lot easier to fly around, right? I'm sorry.
I think what he's training even the politicians who are running against him, they see all the money they spend. They see how little money he spends. Then they realize, geez, I've been a politician all my life, and he's been a businessman all my life. Wonder who would run much smarter and more efficiently, do we think?
Do you think?
Yeah, we got that one down.
All right, speaking of thinking, we want y'all to put your thinking caps on, because I think Thursday we're going to do another little contest. And Mike's come up with an idea here. Now, this is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, we're going to make you like a junior movie producer. You got about 30 seconds to answer this, and I'm going to give you a real example. I'm a big James Bond fan, and as we all know, it opens Friday around the country. But I had I was thinking, what if the PC, the politically correct people, took control of this movie? What would happen to all these scenes?
You mean they haven't already?
I know. Would James be the macho man he is, or would he fade into something else?
Right.
So what I decided to do is I'm going to draw up the opening scene, because the opening scene really sets the agenda for the film.
Okay.
And that's what we want our listeners to do. Just within 30, 45 seconds, you set up...
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Chris. You set up the opening scene. And I'm going to start with mine just to give you a general idea. The movie Spectra opens up with James Bond walking out of a health club, having just received a coffee enema by Starbucks. As he steps outside and hops into his new Tesla instead of the Austin Martin,
right?
He immediately checks his stun gun, and he looks at his Apple Watch to receive his assignment. The cartel, now, excuse me one second, look at his assignment.
Right.
Bond is told his assignment is to break a worldwide fracking cartel. The cartel has freed billions of people from poverty to extremely low energy due to extremely low energy prices. The two main villains of this fracking cartel is a gay man named Mr. D. And that doesn't stand for Dallas. There's also a transgender named Switch. Bond must convince these two villains to let gas prices rise and put more people back into poverty so that the world's politicians have a job. Now, you, the listener, need to put a scene like this together.
All right, that went over 30 seconds, though. All right, that's the challenge. What would be the politically correct, in your view, opening scene for the new Bond movie? Oh, my Lord.
I mean, can you imagine if they, and I'm actually getting scared that they are going to get into this. You know, as corny as it sounds, I can see some real changes. And didn't I see that the Bond that plays it now that's it for him? I think he said
This is his last one.
This is his last one too.
Yeah.
He's going to tie Pierce Brosnan, 4 films.
Yeah.
4, is that right?
Yeah, well, so we'll see. But, the challenge is on the table. We have many people that'll, rise to the challenge.
Yeah.
But to do it in 30 seconds is going to be tough. But I think if they get 4 or 5 good sentences off, they get a shot to become a junior producer.
Yeah.
We have laying down the gauntlet there.
That's right.
That's right. All right. By the way, do you have a favorite Bond movie? You said you're a big Bond fan?
I like Casino Royale. I thought that was a real good one.
Good one.
Yeah. And,
I go for the old ones. I like You Only Live Twice.
You to a Kill.
That was right.
You to a Kill. That's a good
You
one.
to a Kill. That was very
good one too. Yeah.
But they're all exciting movies. But I just cringe if these PC people got to it and all of a sudden everything that we imagined was macho and this and that changed.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Real quick. Also, don't forget, 2 weeks from last night is going to be our pizza eating challenge at Cafe Positano.
Telling you, we're getting a strong lineup.
Strong field, that's right.
It's going to be impressive. This is sort of like Reggie 2. You've heard of Rocky 2 and Mr. T and everybody.
Yeah.
Well, Reggie got pounded in the last one. This is a guy, he's about 6'1", 265 pounds.
Reggie Branch, Super Bowl
he played in
champ.
the Super Bowl. I mean, high quality guy. And when it came to shoving that spaghetti down, he was blown away.
It was all in the technique.
We had a couple women in the contest. I think we had a total of 10 people. The winner was a UCF student.
Yep.
And
he'll be back.
I know what shocks us is his father is bringing his brother to compete in this contest too.
Yep.
Now, I may have a surprise guest.
The uncle and the nephew.
Yeah. I got a surprise guest might show up about 6'8", 260 pounds.
Oh, my.
And he said he's gunning for that. I shouldn't use those words. It's he's looking to beat our young man from UCF. So this should be a real exciting contest.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You're all invited. The Pred Nation will be there again, and they're all their regalia.
That's exactly, and that is regalia. I mean, that itself is worth a trip just to get over to see these costumes and uniforms. I mean, they actually, as we know, they're the #1 fan club in the country ahead of the Dog Pound and everything else. So, if you haven't even seen the Pred Nation, that in itself is very interesting. Plus, there's entertainment. Right, Chris, as the pizza ends.
That's right, yeah. James Hall is going to be there playing the trumpet, and Grant Malloy is going to be there playing the banjo again.
Right.
And so it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Plus, we got some prizes to give away, door prizes and things. And we got some other plans, too, that we're working on we'll be talking about over the next few days.
Chris, I'm giving away my Hillary for Prison 2016 bumper sticker too, so somebody can proudly wear that.
Difficult for you to part with that.
I know. It's going to break my heart, but I have a few more left.
All right. Speaking of heartbreaking, our dear and glorious president has been he sat for an interview with Lester Holt, the anchor for NBC Evening News, and they showed part of the interview last night. I believe there's to air the other part of it tonight. I don't know, because of course we're on the air at 6:30 when they have that show. But Barack was on there last night, and evidently one of the questions was, what would he like to be remembered for? And that is after his term ends.
I get it.
His legacy or, whatever. And one of the things that he said was he wants to be remembered for starting, and I quote now, a new discussion on racial inequality. He wants to be remembered for starting a new discussion on racial inequality.
It was, it's been a one-way discussion if you really think about this. Well, he says everything, and most people are too polite to tell him what an idiot he is. And, I'd be happy to have an open discussion with him on racial equality.
Here's the community organizer / agitators idea of a new discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You rip the community apart. You rip open old wounds, right? You create and distortions. You give life to lies, and you cause people to lose their lives. That's the new discussion we have going on. You call Black Lives Matter, marching in the street, chanting,
Ferguson,
fry
yeah.
police like bacon.
Yeah.
And of course, we know why they say bacon, right? That's
right.
the reference to, the old 60s. Remember the 60s hippies? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's the same crowd, same old crap, just new flies, and this guy himself is just a new fly hovering around the same old crap, and that's what he wants to be remembered for? Well, he will be remembered for being one of the most divisive presidents in U.S. history, contrary to what he promised.
It'd be hard to describe his achievements without using profanity. I mean, look, he's probably lobbying to become the chairman of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, that's right.
And he'd be a good one. I think he'd fit in there absolutely perfect with his style.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Chief is on the line right now. Chief, thank you for calling tonight.
Thank you for taking my call. Y'all are great Americans.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
for being out there, sir.
Well, I was kind of I'm a concealed weapons permit carrier. Been one for a while, and been fortunate enough to be around firearms in my life, so I know how to handle them. And kind of excited about the open carry coming up. And I heard this morning that there was a secret vote from I think the sheriffs in Florida, and it was 70% opposed it. And just wanted to see if you knew anything about that or if that was factual.
Yeah, they did. They got together, in essence, in secret, and sort of polled it themselves and came out with a statement to the politicians that they are overwhelmingly against this idea. And they have the right to have their opinion, to express it. The question is, did they do something wrong by basically doing this in secret?
Is there a sunshine law or something?
For all elected officials in the state of Florida, there's supposed to be, yeah. So we'll see if this goes anywhere. Obviously, sheriffs, breaking the law in mass like that is not a good.
Another good sign of freedom and justice for all.
Can I actually add one more thing? My thing is, if it's done in secret, we have to trust the one. How do we know that they are in opposition to it? Maybe,
who gave the results
maybe the numbers have been skewed.
Well, and of course that's why you want things like this to be done in the open, so that there isn't this element of doubt, right? Which is what you just expressed, which is obviously going to creep up whenever you do things in secrecy. And that's a lesson, for instance, that Hillary Clinton can't get around. She does so much in secrecy, even if she isn't doing anything wrong, it looks like she is.